Kevin here once again with my 1, 2, 3 cents, and today I'm going to look at the legacy factor in WWE, not so much the Randy Orton, Ted DiBiase, Cody Rhodes faction that existed up until last year, but more of the other legacy wrestlers that the WWE has today. And there are 15 second or third generation superstars on the roster right now. I went through the WWE's website and looked at both the SmackDown and Raw pages. Raw has 11 and SmackDown has 4. And in case you didn't know, it's D.H. Smith, Goldust, Husky Harris, the Usos, Michael McGillicuddy, Randy Orton, Natalya, Primo, Tamina, Ted DiBiase. Then SmackDown has Alberto Del Rio, Chavo Guerrero, Cody Rhodes, and Rey Mysterio. And I think I've got everybody listed there. Alberto Del Rio, kind of a surprise. I didn't know this until just a couple of weeks ago. He is the son of the legendary Mexican wrestler Dos Caras, who wrestled under a mask in the 70s and 80s, I believe. So he is on that second generation list right now too. A lot of times, you know, you have to wonder, is being a second generation or a third generation superstar, does it help? Does it hurt? You know, I kind of went down this list, and really Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio are the only two that really kind of stick out in terms of they've been around long enough to have maybe established themselves and make a name for themselves in the WWE. Randy Orton, a multiple-time world heavyweight or WWE heavyweight champion, and then Rey Mysterio has held the title a couple of times as well as the Intercontinental, and I believe maybe the U.S. title. Maybe not. I think he was just the Intercontinental champion. But everybody else kind of pretty green, or I shouldn't say green, pretty new rookie-wise. Natalya, of course, up and coming in the Divas division, a former Divas champion. Tamina starting to get a little bit more action in the ring. Kind of want to focus on a few of the men on this list. And Goldust, I can't leave him out. He's probably the veteran of this list. He and Chavo Guerrero have been around quite some time. And you know, the Goldust character I really like. He, of course, is the son of WWE Hall of Famer and legendary performer Dusty Rhodes, brother to Cody Rhodes. I like Goldust a lot. He, you know, when he first came into WWE back in 95, he wasn't really, we knew as fans that he was Dustin Rhodes, but the WWE didn't play that angle up until, it took a little time before we actually knew on camera who he was, or that the WWE was releasing who he was. So I've always found his character entertaining, probably almost as entertaining as Dusty Rhodes himself, if that's possible. But yeah, I really did like Goldust, and kind of hope that he rubs off a little bit onto Cody. Not saying that Cody's not entertaining, but I do think he's kind of in that mid-card status right now, trying to break out and break into the next level. And I think pairing him back up with Ted DiBiase, his original Legacy co-member, and the tag team of Priceless, I think the two of them could work well together once again. And Ted DiBiase is really one of the main guys I wanted to focus on with this posting, because I do think that he's got a lot of potential, but he has been saddled with that $1 Million Man gimmick, and he's kind of still living in Senior's shadow. And I think it's partly, or maybe a lot to blame on the creative. You know, they don't have anything else for him, I guess, or so it appears. And so he's just kind of in no man's land right now. You know, the whole thing with Maurice and the love triangle with Goldust and the belt kind of started the downward spiral, I think, for the Ted DiBiase character. And then last week on Raw, or this past week actually, on Monday night, getting or was it I don't remember now, but anyway, on Raw recently, Jerry Lawler popped him good and knocked him down, and then in the ring, then he ended up taking the fall and got pinned in that tag team match with The Miz against Lawler and Daniel Bryan. So Ted DiBiase trying to live up to that DiBiase name, I think, is so far not not doing that, but, you know, he's a rookie still. He's not really a rookie, but he's not been around for very long. You think when Ted DiBiase came to the WWF back in 1987, he was an established star. He had, wrestled briefly, very briefly, for the WWF years before that, and then also went on to wrestle in the NWA or the Mid-South area and really succeeded and did very well there. So, you know, I hate to put a pressure on these guys, or the wrestling media in general to put pressure on these guys. And by these guys, I also mean Michael McGillicuddy, who is the son of the legendary Mr. Perfect Curt Hennig, and Larry the Axe Hennig, his grandfather. So I think, and myself included, at first when he came on the scene with NXT, you know, there was this expectation that he was going to be Mr. Perfect Jr., and he's not, and that's okay. You know, when Curt Hennig first started, he wasn't perfect either. He developed into a great wrestler and a great superstar and performer and guy on the mic. And Michael McGillicuddy has really only been involved in wrestling for a few short years now. So it's going to take time, and I think a lot of times fans, and I think it's part of our mentality these days, this is just kind of the way this generation is. My generation, not so much, but the next generation behind me, we're an impatient bunch. We want instant gratification, or people in this in these categories or these generations want instant gratification. We want it now. The ADHD kicks in, and we get bored. We want to be satisfied right away, and it takes time. Husky Harris is another one, the son of Mike Rotundo, the nephew of Barry Windham, and the grandson of Blackjack Mulligan. I think he's got a great future ahead of him. But again, you know, we put these expectations on these guys, and is it fair? Do we expect them to go in there and win the WWE Championship? Let's look at Randy Orton. When he first came to the WWE back in, I think it was 2002 or 2003, he had only been around for about a year when in 2004 when he beat Chris Benoit for the World Heavyweight Championship. A move that I didn't like. I thought Benoit needed to hold the title and carry that, but that's a whole other story. I think Randy wasn't ready for it, and I think that's part of the resentment now that a lot of fans have towards Randy Orton, and there is some resentment there if you look into the internet community. Not everybody is a Randy Orton supporter. Maybe we got too much too soon. He got the push too soon. He became the world champion. Then where do you go from there? You know, you're a young man, you're 24, 25 years old, you have your whole future ahead of you, your whole career ahead of you, so there's nowhere to go but down or to stay up at the top, and he's really kind of stayed there up at the top for quite some time. Other people on this list that I'd like to see kind of raised and elevated, D.H. Smith. I was a really huge fan of Davey Boy Smith, a big fan of the British Bulldogs, probably, if not the greatest tag team, one of the greatest tag teams in my opinion. One of my favorites for sure as a kid growing up. So I really hope that DH is able to develop and become a bigger player in WWE down the road here. Same goes for Natalya. I think that she's got a lot of potential. She's shown us a lot, so she, I think, will do just fine as well. Husky Harris I just mentioned. Another one that I am curious to see how she's going to develop is Tamina, the daughter of Superfly Jimmy Snuka, and the brother of Sim Snuka, who did not do so well in his venture with WWE. So we'll kind of keep an eye on all these superstars and see where they go. I'd like to know what you think about the future of our second generation and third generation superstars. So that's my 1, 2, 3 cents. Thanks for watching.